Okay, hello everybody. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is creating a reusable method, some reusable steps for adding a new customer. So what I want to do is it's going to be used in a few test cases. You can see here I got some tests set up here. So I want to add a new customer. So this is kind of my use case here. So I want to add a new customer, and then I want to verify the customer has been added by doing a search by name or by email, and just to get a verification. Right now, I got 3 test cases, and these are kind of separate. I'm just using uh, names that are already saved, default names already saved within the table. Customers that have already been saved. So I just want to get a little bit more dynamic by adding a new customer. You see here, I'm adding just random names. Sorry, random, first name, last name, random password. So I want to make it a little bit more dynamic. And so I want to create a reusable steps to help me with that. To create so the framework is a little bit more reusable, more maintainable, and a little bit more efficient in ways of implementing and building test cases. So let me just go to so the application I'm using is this one here. This is just an online demo e-commerce site that I'm using to build some test cases against. And this is the customer section here. Here's the table here that I'm going to be searching for once I create the new methods. And then this is the add new button, so you can add a new customer. So there's the fields, and I'll go back into my test here. Here's the fields here that I'm using. So first thing I need to do is so let's grab this code from here. So that's my block there, my logger block. And I want to go up to here. So I'll leave that there. I'll just copy it for now. And so I'm going to go to my reusable file, which is here. And what I want to do, first thing I want to do is start creating my class. My new class for adding the customer. Oops. Okay, there's myself object. Okay, and then I'll just paste that in there. So I'm just missing some objects here, so I'll bring all those in. And we're there. And, so this here, yeah. So now that it's in the UserFlows file package, I gotta bring it in to here. So I gotta bring in this object, my add new customer object, into here. So let's just go back into here, and let's go up into here. Here's create my objects here. So I need this one here, and I'll need this one here too. ElementActions. So this ElementActions, this is another reusable file. It's a file that I use, some methods that I use that are reusable, common for acting on a web element, like clicking a button or clicking a link, which is here, or setting text within some type of text box, which is what I use here. So this makes the framework and adding test cases a little bit more reusable and more maintainable. But yeah, so that's another Python package I put in. So I just wanted to interject here and talk a little bit about the reusability of the framework. So I was talking about the ElementActions here and how I created them to be reusable in the framework as well as the UserFlow steps. So what I'm getting at there is, so when you start building out the test cases or the framework in general, Um, typically, you start building out the page objects here. And then you'll have your locators and then your methods to be used within that page object file. And the test cases, just get that here. Oops. And so, and then you can build out a test case. And then you can start using those methods within the page objects that you created. Start building out your test case, and then of course you'll have your supporting files as well. For your logging, reporting, config files, reading INI files, and so forth, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of what you see over here, right? There's my configurations for the test. INI file has some commonly used text that can be used. Even some I got some locators in here, XPaths, so forth, that can be reused. Then you got your ElementActions, your test cases. You put test documents in here. Of course, through your UserFlow steps. Here's your utilities folder, Excel files, methods here, reading the INI file, the logger, and so on. So that's kind of a typical bare bones automation framework. So once you have the page objects built in here, so for instance, I got my add new customer page objects, customer search page objects, dashboard page objects, and login page objects, and that's what I got from here. So here's the customer page, and I built that out right here. And then I have all the locators for that page, and then I have methods to access those page elements and interact with them. Clicking the button, sending an email text, and so forth. So that's what I'm getting at with here. And then when you start building a test case, then you'll start putting in your steps. Step 1, step 2, to use those methods that are in the page object files. Now, as the test cases get built more and more steps are used, not necessarily more steps, but more test cases are built, then what's going to happen is you'll realize that other steps are being reused. Step 1 will be the same as step 1 in test case 1, and step 1 in test case 2 will be the same, even though they access the same page object. So what you can do is create some reusability, and that's step 1 now. Let me just get another square here. So now you can create a reusable user flow that will now have that step 1 that will still use those page objects. So now, oops. we still have the same steps in here, but now these test cases are accessing those steps within this reusable UserFlow file. And then the UserFlow file can be using the methods within the pageobject file. And then as it grows more, you'll realize, okay, well, that now I'm using a lot of actions over and over again, and you want to put some wrapper around that, some error handling around that. So you can start looking at building the user action file, which could be something like this. Just put it over here, this here, like so. So now you have your element action file that will contain the actions on the web elements. And so these are going to be called these still are going to be used by the page objects. Actually, this can probably go like this, and like this. So now these page object methods can now access these element actions that are reused, and you can wrap some logging around them and some error handling around them. And that's what I've done here. So here's the page object for the new customer page, and you can see here I still have the regular find element in here using the menu item XPath here to click on it. But here's one where I created an element action right here. Add new button. Click EA, which is indicating that it's going to be it's in the element actions file in here, and by putting it in here now I can make it a little bit more robust, a little bit more dynamic, and I can put some error handling around it as well. If some type of error happens, I can do a screenshot and I can log that there was some type of issue. So it makes it a little bit more readable, maintainable, of course, and reusable in here. So this, so let me back up here. So coming back into the add new customer page, so building this out, as I mentioned, so I created this reusable add new customer method under the UserFlow file, in the UserFlow file, the class. Let me just get into it and the source. And so here it is here, and so it's still going to be accessing the page objects. So if I jump to the source in here and go to here and then jump to source, now you see it goes to the add new customer page object. So you can see how that all connection works, and that's the beauty of building it out in a framework this way in the object-oriented design. And so let me just and then of course we set password for setting a text over here, and there's where I can set the text. I can make it a little bit more robust, a little bit more flexible, and I can now indicate the type of selector I'm using and the text that's going to be passing, the name of the element, and then I can just put it in here, and the framework will act upon that web element. And of course, I got my error handling I can put in here as well too. So that's what I'm getting at with creating a framework that's reusability. It helps reduce the maintenance. You can put some error handling, some wrapper error handling around the actions, and makes it a little bit more robust and easier to maintain. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. so you get an idea how this framework was being put together. And this is pretty common for all frameworks. Using this type of framework or usability, so it works well, and it does reduce maintenance, makes for quicker test case building, and then it makes it easier as the application grows. This framework can grow with that application, and you can just plug in new stuff. So if there's a new reporting methods that are put up and added in the new Python files, we can download those and then put them in here and use that new reporting method in some way. But the framework should grow with the application. So let's go back into the user flows. Add new customer. So let's grab this one here and this one here. So this doesn't have to be in there anymore because it's not going to be used in the test case. It's going to be used in here. So let's drop that in. Put up here an initialization piece. Okay, drop that in there. So this should tell me to import my page objects. Okay, there we go. There we go. So they've been brought in. And then now down here, okay, so no more red line. So now no more errors. So my objects are there. Oh, and then I got to import this. Okay, for the I tag using the find element, and then what else we got here? I think we're set up here. That's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just make sure I got everything. Yep, looks good. Okay, and it's going to just tell me to reformat. Okay, that's fine. And then let's go back into add new customer. Okay, so we got the steps added. So let's just get rid of this up to here. Okay. Okay, so now what we want to do is bring in those new methods. That new method I just created. And we don't need this now because that is the UserFlow page object class, and then we don't need that one, and then come into here, and now we should be able to pull that in now. What's that new method? UserFlow here, and there it is there. Okay, so we pull that in. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So we should be able to jump to the source, and there it is there. Good. Let's just save that. Okay, looking good. Okay, let's just get this a run. All set up there. All right, excellent. Let's take a look here. So we got our reports. Let's go to our report here. Where do I put it? There it is. Okay, let's take a look in here, and let's just open this. All right. Okay, so there's the steps, the logging steps we have in there. There's the new customer. Excellent. So that's in there. Go back into here, and this should be the screenshot for it. Here, yes, okay. Good. So I'll just take a screenshot in here as well. Okay, so that's looking good. So now what we can do is take a look at this now, search by name. Okay, so like I said, right now it's got this hard-coded. I'm looking for Victoria, which is like a default name that's already in there, default customer. So if I go here and customer search by name, so just I'll run this so you can see how this runs. It's into here, customers, name, and then you see down there, it finds it in there. So that's what this found flag is now. It just goes in to my method here, right? And then here, search by name. I go to the table and I just do a loop through the table until I find it, and then I return true that I found the name. So I want to make this a little bit more dynamic, and I'm going to add it to the add new customer test here. Okay, so what I can do is just take this. Let's just copy that, go to here. And let's just drop this into here. Okay. Oops. Okay. Let's just get this out of the way. Okay, so once I pasted the steps in here, now I have to get the new customer that we added here and return it, and then search for it in here. Because right now I got Victoria hard-coded in here. So let's go back into the add new customer method here. Let's just jump there. Okay, so in here, what I've done already was I set the so those random generator methods that I used, I set them to fname and last name in here. Okay, so now we have those in a variable that are being used to create the new customer, and now I have to return those. So let's just drop those, the return statement in down here. Okay, so I'm returning the fname. Okay, that. So do a comma delimited. So return the last name, because I'm going to use the split function once I get the first name, last name returned. Okay, so now we got the return statement set up. So let's go back into add new customer, and now let's grab that. Let's see, we'll use customer name. Might be good. We can use in here, or maybe we'll just fname, name equals. Okay, so we get the first name, last name returned to us here in this variable, and now we have to split that up. So let's see here. So what we can do is use the split function. Okay. Here, let's just go in here. Let's just drop it in here. Let's change that to customer name. Okay. Now we'll do customer name dot split, and we'll use the comma as our delimiter. Okay, so now it's going to be split up. It's going to be split up into an array now. So what we'll have to do now is, in here, take that first array object and drop it in here, and it's going to be 0 index. Let's put this here. That first index. Okay, so what we can do, what we're doing here is this, just put this in here, so we can kind of log what the name that we're searching for. Oops, put that there. And let's drop this here, and oops, I saw, yeah, we'll do that there. First index, and concatenation. Okay, so first name, last name. Oh, I gotta bring the object in, page object in for this. That's up in here, so let's here, self, and then it's going to be, okay, we can bring from here. Yeah, that's what we need right there. Copy that. Let's go in here, just paste it in here. Okay, so there we go. That's better. Okay, so I got the first name, last name, and we're going to search for it. And then once we search for it, yeah, but now we're going to, in the table, this is the full name. So let's just drop this in here. So let's break this up. Actually, I can just copy this up here. Put this down here. Okay, so in the table now, what's the table? Sorry, once the name is found, it's going to be the table. So it's going to search for the name and do the found flag. If it's true, it'll pass it. One thing I've noticed, this is always there by default, so we're going to have to get rid of this. And what we can do to get rid of that, let's just inspect it here. Okay, so the title is delete, so let's get the go to the X path for that. So I'm going to build out a locator here for it. So what I need to do for that is I want to delete it before I do a search, because the new customer is being saved as a guest, not as a guest role, not as a registered customer role. So let's go back into our test case here. Let me just copy that there. Okay, so what we need to do is, I think I already have this set up. Let's go into the search customer by name. Let's go into here. Let's take a look at what we got. Sorry, not there. When we're adding a new customer, so the page objects, add new customer page object. So when I'm selecting a new role, I think I do check. Yeah, right here. Yeah, there it is there. It's the same one. So let's just grab this, bring this over here in the test case, and drop it right here. Let's see here. Yeah, we put it right here. So it'll go in, it'll delete that role, delete it like so, and then it'll come in, drop in the name, and do a search. So that should work. That should work for us there. So we'll just leave that like that, and then it'll search for us. Okay. And I think that should work for us. Okay, let's give it a go. There's our new customer. Great. Got rid of it. Awesome. And I found it. That was quick. Bang. That worked great. Okay, so let's check our logging here. So let's go into the report. Let's open that up. There's our steps. User created and user past customer has been found. Great. Okay. That worked out great. Ref name, last name. Okay, awesome. Let's go back into the test case here. Let's check out screenshots. Let's just do where's my reload? Go. And I think it's down here. This one here. Let's open it up. So that's creating our test add customer. That's just a screenshot of the validation that new customer has been added. And when we do the search, which is down here, and there it is there. And we found the new customer that has been added. All right. I think we got it. So what we did here was we created a reusable method where we can add a new customer. And then I brought in the steps to search for a customer. I made this test case a little bit more dynamic. And I used the customer name that was created when I added a new customer and did a search for it. That's great. Okay, we'll hold off there. Thanks all for watching.